Step 3 of the Tech Savvy Teacher course is called Feed the Growth Mindset. If you're not familiar with Carol Dweck's book, The Growth Mindset, by all means, it's well worth the read even now. I know it's probably been a little bit dated, but you can see there is a growth mindset diagram here that I've included just to give you kind of a framework if you're not familiar with it. In a nutshell, it's really about growing your mind, overcoming obstacles, and that type of concept of continual growth, and we could also call it sharpening the saw. So these are resources in this particular step that kind of will hopefully give you some new ideas, food for thought, and just help sharpen your professional repertoire of skills. So if we look at just some of the top resources I recommend, and keep in mind there's also the link to my Wakelet, which will have even more. You can find some great resources in iTunes U. Now, I've heard that iTunes U is going away and it's going to be blended into iTunes podcasts. So all the content, hopefully, that you find in iTunes U, you should still see in iTunes if it does get blended. But iTunes U has a lot of free courses and content from universities from around not only the United States, but around the world. Podcasts have become really popular if you have a smartphone, which most of us do. And if you have an iPhone, you could use iTunes. There are lots of podcasts you can find. There's actually a separate podcast app now that you can find all kinds of educational content that's great for listening. They're almost like radio shows that you can listen to. If you have your phone connected to your car speakers, you can listen there. I sometimes, while mowing the lawn in the summer, put on a headset and listen to podcasts while I'm mowing the lawn. You can also find podcasts on SoundCloud, Google Play, or Stitcher. So if you have a Google-based phone or an Android-based phone, Google Play might be the one, and I believe there is now on Android and a podcast app specifically as well. So feel free to check that out. There's a whole bunch of podcasts you can find and enjoy. The search feature will probably give you some. Here is Goodreads. If you've never seen Goodreads, it's kind of like a social network for book readers. It's almost like an online book club in a sense. So you can connect with other people and you can kind of read books together and review them, or just read on your own and review books or find new books. So Goodreads is a really nice social network for people who really like reading books. Overdrive is, let me just find that one. Overdrive is a site that will let you connect with your local library. And I'm sure your local librarian, even at the school, would be able to help you with this step, or your local librarians downtown. This is nice because you can, just like a library, you can rent or borrow books. I shouldn't say rent. You can borrow books, and then it'll be downloaded to your phone or your computer, so you can listen to audiobooks or you can read books right on your device. So, and it's, again, works like a library. You have maybe 2 weeks to use the book or listen to the audiobook, for example, and then it'll just go back to the library that you got it from. So keep in mind, you may have some books, just like in a real library, that are going to be on hold because the library is purchasing the license for you to read it. So it's a really great way to listen to books and ebooks, read ebooks, and listen to audiobooks for free. And it also is a nice way to keep connecting with your local library. So that is Overdrive. And the app that goes with it, you can see it here, is called Libby, Libby. So check that out. Definitely worth your while. And speaking of libraries, the New York Public Library, which is based out of course, New York City, you can get a free account because you are a New York State resident. You can get an online library card. So if you go to the New York Public Library, you can get a library card, and then you can also search their collections, and similar, you can download content from the library and find all kinds of great information that you find in libraries in general. Outside of that, I've put in some other links here that are about podcasts. There's edweb.net. There's a lot of great groups you can join to kind of connect with others and again, improve your mind and your skill set. And then the Educational Podcast Network has a bunch of them there. So by all means, check those out. And if I was going to recommend one blog for you to kind of sharpen the saw on, I would definitely go with Jennifer Gonzalez's, which I'll probably talk about in a later podcast, but her Cult of Pedagogy website is a one-stop shop for all educators that I would definitely recommend. And you can grow your mind and keep the saw sharp. So with that, the secret word is mindset. Mindset, all one word, lowercase. That's the secret word or the secret code for this video.